Look, it's your boy Ak, and I brought the Hall of Fame with me to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. How could I not? Look, it's induction weekend, so much going on, so many legends in the building. I brought the biggest legends so we can walk around here. Let's go. When you got inducted in 2022, and you finally walked in this building and knowing that you were gonna be a part of all of the greats, like, what's that feeling like?
It's a great feeling. It's an awesome feeling because, to be honest with you, when I come here, the first thing I think about is all the guys in here that I learned from. And now I'm gonna be in here as one of the guys that other people can learn from in the future. You feel me? So it's like, that's the biggest thing.
Who's the person that you're most honored by being next to? Like,
the most person I'm gonna be honored by being here with is gonna be Muhammad Ali, of course. But when I walk in, I see things like, first of all, I see Marvin Hagler, right?
Yeah.
I learned consistency from Marvin Hagler, you know? Then I see Sugar Ray Leonard. I learned pizzazz, hand speed from Sugar Ray Leonard. Then I see Wilfredo Benitez. That's where I learned my defense from, was Wilfredo Benitez. So there's so many people here that the base of some of my learnings and understandings came from these guys. Azuma Nelson, I mean, at a young age, he went 15 rounds with, at the time, probably my favorite technical fighter, which is Salvador Sanchez.
Oh, man.
He went
15 rounds
with Sanchez.
He was a killer.
And he was a young guy at the time. Well, both of them were, because Sanchez was on like 22, but that's when I first learned to know who Azuma Nelson was.
And Sanchez, we just saw a gentleman outside with the Sanchez shirt. A guy, unfortunately, passing so young in a car accident and still having that much impact, was about 22 years old.
22 years old when he died, but here's the thing. I think he had 9 title defenses in 1 year. He was not afraid to fight, you understand me? And people say, this is where my problem comes in. And like you said about the history, people say, well, Canelo was too young when he fought Floyd to understand. No, he was not. This man had 11 title defenses at 22 years old. How can you be too young at 21? You're a Mexican like he is.
I think maybe back then, because guys weren't getting paid as much, they had to fight more often.
No, because
guys getting that much money and winning the fight.
No, because guys loved to fight back then. Guys loved the sport. Guys fought to win and be the best. They didn't fight for the money. They fought to be the best. You understand me? So don't matter
they
what
always
you
wanted to be in the ring.
They got paid great for the time. The money he was making, it was great for that time. He didn't keep any money. He wanted to be the best. This is a beautiful thing to me. Ann Wolf, Layla Ali, Alicia Ashley, Holly Holm. I mean, this is so awesome. The first one, Christy Martin. To have these women enshrined in this Hall of Fame is an awesome thing. Lucia Roca,
and hopefully years to come, this will get bigger and
Jo
bigger.
Sanders, it's just crazy, bro. It's just crazy.
And this goes way back, boy.
Oh yeah,
Man. First time I ever saw you in the ring, I swear, I thought about Sugar Ray Leonard.
Because I drew a lot from him. I drew a lot of inspiration from him. Tell you what, this guy right here, a lot of people forgot about. The white Muhammad Qawi. You know what I'm saying? That guy right there, I always thought I was gonna be a short fighter at first. And
spurred it out.
I spurred it up, but I thought I was gonna be like this type of guy. So if I was gonna be a short fighter,
he's gonna be like him.
I was gonna fight like, yes. This was a bad guy too. Pulled a lot of him. He's the best guy. He's the best guy in the world at changing speeds. Now check this out. This guy right here.
Right, Billy Khan.
You better believe it. That was a bad guy right there, man.
Wow. When you really sit here,
this guy, Emil Griffin. This guy right here, they said even the great Sugar Ray Robinson didn't want to fight this guy.
Really?
Yeah, they said the great Sugar Ray Robinson never wanted to share the ring with this guy.
Oh yeah,
wow. Sure is, okay.
Boy, they got the
go.
bronze in there.
They're gonna go, okay, they're gonna go.
Wow, look at it right behind us.
That look pretty good, man. Hi.
Me and Dap on that.
There it is. You heard me?
Does it fit?
Hey, look at that.
They got the wrinkles and everything in there.
They got it perfectly right. Yeah. Don't let it hit you though, push you to sleep. This is why it's important that the Boxing Hall of Fame stay intact, and it's a great thing that Brophy is doing because it keeps boxing alive, not just for today, but for yesterday. Because if you don't know about yesterday, how can you be prepared or better prepared for tomorrow?
All right, folks, listen, man. That's what you guys out there that want to experience this, you got to come. You got to donate. You got to come spend some money here, buy some, some of this memorabilia, so this place can exist forever. And guess what? There's more. We had a chance to sit down with some of the legends that are going to be inducted this weekend. Vinny Paz Interview that share the ring with us.
Some of the inductees,
That's right. Christy Martin. she paved the way for women's boxing.
Of course she did.
Easily.
Of course she did.
And one of the most recognized referees in all of boxing, Kenny Bayless. Tune in.
On Friday, July 11th, Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions bring you two of the best female athletes on the planet. One ring, one final chapter.
Katie Taylor is chasing ultimate glory. Amanda Serrano is fighting for redemption and revenge.
This is more than a fight. This is the first ever women's boxing trilogy, and the whole world will be watching.
The stakes, higher than ever.
The rivalry, legendary.
Who will win?
Don't miss the epic showdown live in Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Watch Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano,
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
live on Netflix. What's up, fight fans? It's your boy Ak. We're here at Turning Stone Hall of Fame weekend with my guy, the GOAT, Roy Jones, sitting here with one of the, it's safe to say one of the toughest men that the sport has ever seen, the Pazmanian devil, right? Vinny Paz here. So, first off, congratulations, right? It's a hell of an honor to be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, which leads me to ask you, do you remember the first time you walked in a boxing gym, right, and fell in love with the sport? Or when did you fall in love with the sport?
I was 5.
5 years old?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even when I say it, it's just fucking nuts. I was 5 years old, and I went to some place near my house. I don't know, I had to go with somebody, and they were boxing. And then come to find out it was called CLCF boxing.
Right.
Cranston's League for Cranston's Future, the CLCF thing. And when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I said, that's what I want to do. I was a little runt. Right, yeah. and that's it. That's what hooked me in.
So you stayed in the gym from that age on? So you started boxing that early?
Yeah. I started boxing that early. I would take kids into my garage, shut the door, and
beat them up?
Just beat them up. Yeah, yeah. I was like Roy Jones is now. I was that when I was 5.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, speaking of Roy, I mean, obviously you guys shared the ring together.
He's the only guy that ever kicked my ass. He's the only guy.
So, can you talk about the when you got the call to fight Roy Jones and that opportunity came about? Yeah. Were you a little nervous, like?
Yeah. He's tremendous,
right?
And still now today,
right?
You don't lose that speed and the power and that elusiveness. You know, he can still kick ass today.
So, you didn't want to turn the opportunity down when it presented itself. Though,
yeah,
to share the ring with him.
And I fought him because the numbers were 1.3
million.
Yeah, and I said, oh man, all right, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I said, but I was maybe if I get him one good shot. That's all I was looking for. One good shot.
I love that transparency, though. You being honest.
He was elusive as gel, as ice.
I think that's the first time I heard a fighter say, Roy say that, like, man, I got to take that money. I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but I got to take that money.
A lot of them won't tell the truth.
Right.
But for this guy, people don't understand how far he and I go back. My second pro fight, I was fighting at 154.
Right.
I was on the undercard. I was the co-main event. This guy was the main event at 135 pounds.
Wow.
Against Vinny Bergasi.
Yeah.
Against Vinny Bergasi. My second pro fight.
Wow. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course he does.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
Vinny Bergasi.
And I tell people all the time, and I'm not just saying it because he's here. There's a few guys that I give more credit to than most people.
Right.
Pacquiao for the weight he covered. Roberto Duran for the weight he covered. Hector Camacho for the weight he covered.
Right.
And this guy for the weight he covered. You understand me? I saw this guy fighting at 135. How do you fight him at 168?
Right.
You understand me? Yeah. And he's still dangerous at 168. He ain't just no fight. He a guy you got to watch him because he gonna get you if you ain't careful. If you ain't on your A game, he gonna ask Dana Rosenblatt. Going nothing on your A game, he gonna get you. And even at an old age, not many people beat Roberto Duran.
Right.
He did. You understand me? Roberto went to UK with headgear, without headgear. Nigel Ben wore headgear. He made Nigel Ben look like a beginner. And Nigel is much younger than him.
Right.
You understand me?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Nigel was a regular middleweight and super middleweight. This guy started lightweight. Lightweight. After a broken neck, as a lightweight, you gonna fight one of the best fighters ever. And you do it still. I was crying after the fight because I was afraid I didn't want to hurt his neck again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to fight him at all. Only reason I fought him was because my guys, I told them, if y'all get Smoke a USBA title fight, then I'll go ahead and fight Vinny. But I don't want to fight Vinny. I know Vinny too much. I like Vinny too much. And
Smoke Gainer.
Smoke Gainer. Yeah. And Vinny coming off of a broken neck. How am I supposed to explain that?
But Vinny, I mean, talk about the people around you. What about family, friends? Because Roy was unbeatable, right? Did anybody say, man, I don't know, maybe you should take this fight?
He wouldn't
Money
care.
ain't worth it.
Listen,
Yeah?
he wouldn't care.
Yeah.
The Padmanian devil was
care.
the Padmanian devil.
Yeah.
He never cared.
Exactly.
I knew that already too. He ain't never gonna say no.
Who tried to, deter you from taking the fight?
A couple of like friends that weren't friends, just wanted to be around the action.
Right.
When I was, flying high.
Was that your biggest payday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, I gotta get lucky. I gotta get lucky. I get him with one shot.
One shot.
I couldn't. He was slick as ice. Yeah, slick as ice. Fast as lightning.
And hit hard.
And he did everything. He had it all.
Can you talk about?
He still does. He could go out today.
He just beat my ass in a pool table there, man. Everything he do. Talk about the weight though. He mentioned and really emphasized that weight coverage, right? Like from 135 to fighting in 154 and bigger weight classes. Yeah. I mean, that's when you fought.
I ended my career at 68.
At 68. Yeah. But after 35, you jumped to 54, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
That was after the accident.
I almost died after I lost to Roger Mayweather. I was so dehydrated.
Right.
I couldn't make 140, and he was like lightning, and I just took an ass whipping, and went to the hospital, and had him fill me up with fluid.
Fluids, right.
And it was a bad night. Like I had the best father in the world. I got lucky with my parents. If my father wasn't there that day, that night after the fight, my father always come with me everywhere. He was unbelievable. But if I wasn't there, if he wasn't there, me and him would have never fought. Because I was dying. I was dying.
So what did he do?
I could see myself. I'll never forget it. Like I saw myself going up through the clouds, the whitest, brightest clouds like ever.
This is when you were in the hospital?
This is when I was in the hospital after the fight.
After the fight.
After the
Roger
Mayweather fight.
What were the doctors saying? Like that you just dehydrated?
Yeah. And I was laying there, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Literally, I just
let me go.
I'm gone. I got my ass kicked. I can't even believe I lost like that, and I was just going up and up, and then I remember this. I was going up and up and up through the whitest, brightest clouds ever, like. Clouds were like everywhere, and I was going up and up and up. And if my father wasn't with me, I was with this company called Main Events, the Duvers. If my father wasn't with me, I wouldn't be here today. Like literally, somebody else would be in this seat.
Wow.
Because I was going. My father came in the room,
right,
and the nurse said to him, Mr. Pazienza, we're losing your son. He's got only one heartbeat every 8 seconds.
Wow.
And my father came over to me and he grabbed me my shirt and he started shaking me like crazy. He, if it wasn't for him, I would have been dead.
He really kind of woke you up.
Oh yeah. No, he grabbed me, jab. I don't care, you lost. Don't do this. That's what I remember.
You remember that moment. Wow.
And I came back.
Wow.
Yeah, I came back.
That makes me think about the fighters that drain themselves to try to make a certain weight class so they could be as big as possible fight night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even recently we just saw a young champion in Keyshawn Davis that was 4 pounds over. The fight got canceled. Do you think there's something that should be changed in the sport regarding that? Like the fighters that try to drain themselves, because it's so dangerous to be dehydrated.
Everybody talks about it, but I mean, how can you do anything about it? It's their body, it's their life, it's their fight, and they want to fight at 168 and 135, and everybody wants to get down to the lowest they can get down and still feel good. Like Reyes said, I was a 135-pound champion, then I was 168-pound champion, and I felt good at 168.
You felt good
because I didn't have to burn all that much weight. But it's
What about weighing in at the same day, like in the amateurs? Or I think at one point pros was like that as well.
Yeah,
weighing in the same day.
It's
that would resolve that issue.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't resolve the issue. I can promise you, and I can tell you why. I'm living fact. When I fought Bernard Hopkins the first time, they made me weigh in the day of the fight to try to resolve the issue. I weighed in 159 and a half. At 6 o'clock that evening, I was 179 and a half. How does that resolve the problem?
Yeah, you still hydrated.
You're gonna do what you want to do anyway. So now,
but it's not as No,
let me finish.
less time.
So, no, not as much time, but I'm still the same weight.
Right.
I was gonna gain 20 pounds regardless.
Oh, got you.
You understand me?
Got you.
So what the difference in he and I's days and today, we would have still made that weight last night. If we write on that contract, we fight at 140, we gonna be at 140 if it kills us. That's what he basically is telling you.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
When I came down to fight 12 and 75, it basically almost killed me.
Right.
But I refused to put my name on a paper and not deliver what I say I'm gonna deliver. You understand me? And that's what he did. We refused to not deliver what we say we're gonna deliver.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We'll die first. Because that's what real men do.
Yep.
You understand me? So when a guy tell me he can't lose 4 pounds, I can't, you don't want to, but I can't say you can't because you can't, I done did it.
Right.
Understand? I don't ask nobody to do nothing that I don't think I was ever capable of. That means not saying that I want guys to go do things I did crazy in the ring, but those were choices. But the things that were demanded, when I put my name on a contract at 168, I'm making 168. If I put it, like he just said, if he put that down at 140, he made 140. Now we paid the price for it. I almost killed me too.
Yeah.
We paid the price for it, but that's what real people are supposed to do. You're supposed to do what you say you're gonna do, and I respect that too.
What up, fight fans? It's your boy Ak, and I can't wait for you to see the fights we have coming your way. And you know who we teamed up with? Our boys at DraftKings. Barack, July 11th, the trilogy. The most amazing boxing fight I ever been to, which was their first one. Their second one was just as good. I can't even imagine what we're going to see in Madison Square Garden on the 11th, Barack. But I think Amanda gets it this time.
First of all, this is historic. The same person won both fights, and there's a trilogy. Why? Because this is the most 50-50 fight I've ever seen. Finally, women have what we always needed, a rivalry. Incredible. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets stopped.
Well, I'm pretty sure those odds will be somewhere on DraftKings. I can't wait for that day. I'm going to make some money. Yo, go check out all that DraftKings has to offer. But of course, you got to use the promo code. That's right, ATS Fights. The crown is yours.
With so many different ways to play, DraftKings has something for every sports fan to stay in the action all night long.
Stop wasting time. Go check out all that DraftKings has to offer. Download the app right now. Right now, right now. What about having some sort of rehydration clause for all fighters? Would that maybe change things where you can't gain 25 pounds in one day?
Well, if your body need that 25 pounds though, and because you don't put it down so bad, you don't allow him to get it. Now when he get hurt, it's because you didn't allow him to get his body back the way it should have been for optimal performance. So it's gonna be arguments either way.
Yeah, because the argument is that, man, you're so much heavier than your opponent.
It's gonna be arguments either way.
Are you a fan of the sport today? Like, do you watch what's going on in boxing today, current fights?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, nah, I don't follow.
You don't follow the sport
like I used to. I used to when I was a kid.
Right.
You know?
Do you watch the big fights, like the ones?
Well, yeah.
Who's your favorite fighter today?
Well,
Current, active.
Well, I was gonna say Floyd. You know, Floyd was a badass. He was like impossible to hit.
Right.
Like, holy shit.
Right. He's been retired for years.
Yeah. And I don't even follow.
Wow. That's interesting. You know, being such a big name in the sport for so many years and now not watching. Is there a reason for that?
It's just
doesn't interest you anymore.
Do my thing, and that's it. If I happen to be near a TV time, I'll watch.
Oh, that's funny.
Also, I do have to tell you this. I was a boxing fanatic.
Right.
I loved boxing. This guy was one of the most entertaining people outside of Mike Tyson's myself at that time, because Prince Nassim hadn't got there yet.
Right.
This guy was one of the most entertaining people to watch of anybody I knew at the time.
Right.
You understand? Besides the Mike Tyson, like I said.
Yeah.
So when you watch him fight, you're gonna get your money's worth. You understand me? It didn't matter who he was fighting, where he was fighting at, you were gonna get your money's worth.
Right.
So to see him finally go into the Hall of Fame, my heart is overjoyed. You know, and I can understand why he don't watch boxing, because with people, unless it's him, Jorge Paez, people like that, if it ain't them kind of people, why would he watch it? He's not getting what he gave. You understand me? So it's not fair to take his time and not give him back what he gave. You feel me? So that's why he probably don't watch boxing.
Is that a fair assessment? Not too much excitement.
This dude was excited.
Yeah.
I don't care who he fought.
Can you talk about when you got called to be inducted this year in the Boxing Hall of Fame? Like, do you remember where you were?
It's funny. I remember opening it up that night. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "Wow, I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame. All right, this is cool."
Were you by yourself when you got the call?
I literally got a letter in the mail. I said, finally, fucking Brophy put me in. I said, he only put me in because I was like, hey, Ed, if you don't put me in, I'm going to kill you. So I guess he wanted to live his life because I was going to kill him.
That's
so it does mean a lot
today.
So it does mean a lot to you, to be up there with the greats.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Right, yeah.
Roy will tell you it's everything what a boxer dreams of being. Yeah, it's so cool, and I'm blessed, blessed.
He is a blessing to the sport too, though, because like I told you, and like we were saying when Christy was here, it's one thing to tell people stuff, but it's another thing to show people stuff. The doctor said he'd never fight again.
Right.
And look what he did after that.
Yeah. I mean, your story's amazing. Like, can you tell us about that moment? Like, you making a decision that you're not gonna, you're gonna ignore the doctors because you want to get back in the ring.
Yeah. I literally kind of ignored Dr. Carter, who was, smart as a whip, and and I just said to myself, Vinny Paz, you crazy motherfucker. What are you doing? But because it was so hard for me to get out of that thing, that boxing that I loved so much. It was so, I was a kid. I was 29 years old. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna die trying. It's simple as that.
Did you get an opportunity to have a conversation with Dr. Carter after you went on and defied all odds and say, man, you said I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I told him, I said, Doc, I said, you're the best, but I'm gonna fight again.
Right.
And he was like, Vinny, you're not gonna fight again. And I said, no, Dr. Carter, I totally respect what you say. You're the man and everything, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna make this happen, and if not, I'm gonna die trying.
Trying. But I'm saying after you did make it happen, did you sit down and have a good conversation with him?
No.
Never?
No.
He never came to you and said, damn, Vinny, you were right. I was wrong.
No. No.
What doctor you know go and admit that?
Yeah.
That's true. He didn't want to admit it.
Exactly.
What he don't know is that for a while, I had pictures of him in my room, in my stuff, of him with the whole head thing on, because he was also an inspiration to me.
Wow.
Because if you can go through what he went through and come back, why should I not be able to go
no
through
excuses.
it? You feel me?
No
I had no excuses whatsoever.
That's cool.
None whatsoever.
Wow.
I
You never knew that?
No, he didn't, because I ain't never told nobody.
Wow.
I had pictures of him with that head harness on, coming back, because
That's cool.
that inspired me. Because we fought on, like I said, on the same card on my second fight. So when I saw that, how could I not use that for inspiration?
Wow. So your dad is no longer with us?
No.
Is it kind of bittersweet being inducted in the Hall of Fame? Like how amazing would it be if he could witness this?
Yeah, it would have been cool as ice.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm happy that I had the greatest parents. They lived their lives. I made them so happy.
Right.
Just sending them hair, giving them this little bit of money here, doing this for them, doing that.
You got a chance to follow them with gifts and a good life.
Yeah.
And boxing gave you that.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, in the same white clouds that he passed, in the white clouds looking down at him, I guarantee you.
Wow. Vinny.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, there's a movie about this story. Bleed for this.
Yeah, it was
about
good too.
About
Miles
this man.
Teller did a good job.
Yeah.
I said to him, I called him up and I said, Miles, how the fuck did you play me so good? and he goes, Vinny, he said, did you ever go on the internet and punch your name up? He said, everything comes up on it.
Right.
He said, I just watched and imitated the computer internet.
Right. He did an amazing job.
He did an amazing job.
It's a hell of a movie.
Yeah.
Look, congratulations, man, on being inducted in the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. I'm honored to chat with you and actually to be there and watch it happen. Thank you.
He's good at this, Brian.
Thank you. Vinny Paz.
Congratulations, brother.
Always.
There it is.